After lunch, everybody stand up.
Come on!
Let's go. Change the energy. To learn, change the energy. Everybody, let's do our power moves. On the count of 3. And say yes. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Yes!
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, so obviously this is a doctor's panel, and we're welcoming you all in here. We're glad you're here today. This conference is amazing. What's happening with Yoli is amazing. And so before we get into the questions that you all submitted via the app and go through the new products that have been released, which are amazing, I think it's really important to really go through where we're at with Yoli and where we're going from a product vision. So obviously we're seeing all of the amazing changes that are happening in Yoli. And personally, as a Blue Diamond in this company, I believe without a doubt that this is the most important conference that we've ever had. And it will probably be one of the most important conferences that we'll ever have in this company, because this is going to be such a change and a springboard. From the doctor's side, and I think I speak for all of us, and if not, these guys will have an opportunity, what they're doing with their product vision, their integrity-based outlook on product ingredients, their general concept of what we're doing is taking what has already made us so unique and great in Yoli, which is being so focused on impact and real-world results. They're taking that, they're sticking with that, and they're making it better by making our products even cleaner, even better. And the new 10 products, which we have another big one still coming, which we can't discuss today, those are just the tip of the iceberg. So although those are very, very exciting, what's even more exciting to us as a group is just the future, the next months, the next year, what's going to be happening in this company from a product standpoint. It's going to be truly amazing, and I just want you all to know that this really is special. We really are going to be part of a company that not only has the best, highest quality, best tasting products, but they're really going to be in the system like they always have been, that allows people to use them as tools to have real impact in their lives. So that's more important than anything else to understand, is that we are an impact-based company that's really, really about not fluff and hype and marketing. We're about actually making results for real people in their lives. So without further ado, I think we'll just start going through the new products, okay? All right. I don't know who wants to talk next. How about that? Go for it, Ben. You have the mic.
Let's roll a PH2O, huh?
Yeah, let's do it. Who wants to hear about PH2O?
Who's excited about that, by the way? That's it?
No.
I mean, guys, for those of you guys who know who I am, I'm Dr. Mike. One of the things that, if you guys have been here for a while, I get really excited about certain product releases, and I was really excited about enzymes and like geek out kind of stuff, because it's so important for your body, right? And when we got the news that we were releasing PH2O, it was that level of excitement for me, okay? And now I'm gonna start geeking out with you guys a little bit about it, that we didn't talk about it on stage, but what I want you guys to understand with it, right? Everything in your body's made out of mostly water. Is that, everybody knows that part. But here's the most common, I guess, objection I get from even my patients or just other people. They say, I drink water, but I'm still dehydrated. How many of you guys ever faced that? Right? So here's a little bit of science for you guys. Water is actually clumped together. Okay? So H2O, actually they bind to each other because it's what's called a polar molecule. So there's a positive and negative end. And over time, these water molecules get clumped together, and there's like really big globs, and they can't get to the cells. What PH2O does, this is what I get really excited about, is that it starts breaking up those clusters of water molecules so that it can actually get into your cells to the mitochondrial level. Did you guys get that part? It's actually helping you to hydrate better, guys. This is like phenomenal, because the number one thing that I see, and a lot of the rest of the doctors see, is that patients are dehydrated. People go on the T-kit and they complain of constipation. They complain of all these other issues which surrounds dehydration. Because if your cells can't get the gunk out, because there's no water in there, what good is it to try and detoxify the body, detoxify the cells? It's no good. So that's one of the big things that I'm excited about, is now we're actually starting to impact it at the cellular and molecular level. That's what we're going to impact.
Think of the pH2O, you guys, as an additional lifestyle product that you can add. It's not going to replace alkali, because that's for more of, on a different level. This is just to add to water. It's easier to drink. It is health beneficial because it's got the trace minerals. It is alkalizing. So don't overthink it. Just think that it tastes good. It is healing. Like, it's very health beneficial. But it's not intended to replace your alkali.
So let's talk real quick about some of the issues that come up with pH2O. What is in pH2O? pH2O is trace minerals, and a lot of them. There's like 72 or 76 different trace minerals. And why do we need trace minerals? Trace minerals have been depleted for years, you guys. That's our farming practices. It's stress. It's just our lifestyle that's created this mess we live in. And so, 99% of people, I would say, are devoid of those trace minerals, or at least some of those. And so everybody needs this product to get those trace minerals put back in, because they're precursors to enzymes, they're precursors to hormones. So they're hugely, hugely important for us. And the pH2O is just one more tool in our arsenal to kind of put those back in. And then also in the pH2O is, believe it or not, a lot of fiber. And it's a really good source, chicory root fiber or inulin. And so it's another piece of the pie, right? So we're talking about gut health, we're talking about, just general health. And now we have another piece to the pie, how everything fits back together. So I think it's a great product.
Yeah, the trace minerals, just to talk about a couple of them. One is vanadium, and that's very important. Dr. Mike was talking about the mitochondria. That's actually one of the trace minerals that you need to it's kind of like a key to start that mitochondrial process. And so when a glucose molecule goes into the cell, the glucose doesn't really do any good until it gets into that mitochondria and kicks out. It's called ATPs, adenosine triphosphates, which are gonna give you energy and make you move every single day. Because without that, if you're deficient in just that one micromineral, you're gonna not be able to have the key to start your engine. There's chromium in there also. I mean, everything that you need is right there. We were so good, the system with alkali, for the macro minerals, the magnesium, potassium, calcium. We have that covered really good. Now we have the micro minerals that are gonna get into your body and be able to run at the cellular level and make you even healthier.
You guys are crazy smart, just so you know. What I like about pH2O is I think the name's super cool. And I think people will like it. The other thing is, and this is what Yoli has always done so well, and what they're gonna just supercharge moving forward, is really understanding the concept of impact when it comes to our supplements and our systems, and that things are meant to go together. Things are meant to be synergistic with each other. And Yoli crushes synergy as it relates to impact. And what I mean by that is, synergy is greater than the sum of its parts. So 1 + 1 = 20, not 2. And when you add in something like pH2O with what we're already doing, so we're obviously a lifestyle health company. One of our major focuses is pH of the human body, right? That's a big component of all aspects of our health and biochemistry. This is just another way that we can live that lifestyle, promote that lifestyle, and help people really achieve their health goals, which really matter. And so if you think of it that way, we're a pH company. We have a lot of things that have pH components to them, because that's one of our major tenets as far as what we're trying to affect. And the reason it's a major tenet is it is a foundational biochemical process, meaning you can talk about mitochondria, you can talk about cells, you can talk about H2O molecules, you can talk about brain function, you can talk about hormone function, you can talk about sexual function, you can talk about a whole bunch of things, but basically our body function as a whole, as a bag of water sitting here, pH is one of the things that matter the most. So when we support and adopt things that help our pH function better and help our body in its own natural, innate way do a good job with pH, that's going to have a positive impact on every other aspect of our health. So that's another reason we're throwing this in. Plus, the way to think of it is, how many of you, when you're doing a T-kit, just like they said from stage, struggle with drinking enough water? I mean, all of us do. I do. I get sick of water. How many of you think that impacts your health and your goals with the transformation kit positively, not drinking enough water? One person who probably misunderstood what I said by accident. So hydrating, like Dr. Mike said, if you're shrinking fat cells and you're detoxing at a cellular level, and you're not hydrating, you're not going to be able to eliminate those toxins. You're not going to be able to import the micronutrients and trace minerals into the cells. So this is just a really awesome way to get hydration, a really awesome way to live a pH lifestyle, and it takes the place of things like Hint water, things like LaCroix, things like stuff that you may already be doing and spending money on. This is a much better option at a lower price point than a lot of those, and it's just a really good way to implement it in with our systems we're already doing. Okay?
And I think you guys just keep in mind, it's a great alternative to drinking Passion all day. Because, you know, we don't need all that caffeine.
You'd get tired out if you did Passion all day.
Yeah.
Except, you know.
So just keep that in mind. Like, it's a nice addition that you can remove some of the other things. And it's a great thing for kids, you know, to help alkalize kids. Or people who can't take pills, maybe. It's another alternative. So it's just nice to have options.
I think it's a great replacement for anybody have kids after their athletic events, or replacing the Gatorades, all the drinks that they have after a practice or after a game. This is a great substitution for that, where you can just take a whole bunch of packets and give to the teams, because the kids need it. All that other stuff is making them sicker and sicker. So it's a great alternative to have.
I think the only other thing really that we maybe should cover is we did get some questions about whether or not this is a replacement for your alkaline on a daily basis. And to put it in perspective, PH2O has the equivalent of 1 capsule of alkaline in it. Okay, but we're not suggesting you use it as replacement per se for taking alkaline. Okay. That being said, and this is maybe my opinion, I'm also not suggesting that you're taking 20 alkaline a day and then drinking 20 PH2O. Okay? So, I don't
only kid else that.
Yeah.
He hasn't asked to handle it.
Yeah.
So, no, we don't see it as a replacement. You can drink PH2O somewhat unlimited throughout the day.
There is one quick thing, and this isn't about anything, but there are some medications in the world that are pH sensitive. And as a result of that, if you're on a prescription medication, as a general rule, and this goes for alkaline too, but PH2O because it has alkaline in it, just take it away, like 2 hours away from your meds. And if you know, you can actually ask your doctor or pharmacist, is my medication pH sensitive? They'll know what that means and they can say yes or no. If they say yes, take it away from PH2O and alkaline. If they say no, you don't really have to worry about it. And that's maybe as general as we should be with that, I think, but just that was a couple questions. That being said, is there any other PH2O stuff? I want to go to the website. You want to say something, Mike?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to pull up a couple questions, and then we'll move on to Glow. If you guys want to hear about Glow, right?
Yeah.
All right, but I got to get one. This one's from Daniel Song.
I don't care if you're going to do that.
Are you good? Are you okay? Is it okay? No, it's not. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Everybody's asking.
It was a smart aleck question, so we better not go there. It's probably not if this is a family program, like Rob would say.
Let me add one more thing to PH2O, kind of an academic thing. You guys use batteries, right? Everybody uses batteries. You guys notice that batteries are alkaline batteries, right? And then If you look at everything in life is about the movement of electrons, okay? So when you look at the pH scale, everything is about the balance between electrons and protons. So the more alkalized you are, the more electrons you have. Everybody knows this concept. When your phone starts getting drained, what do? You guys recharge it, right? That's what you're doing when you're adding more electrons by alkalizing your body. As you alkalize your body, you also do another thing that's very important to everybody who walks the face of this planet. It's called oxygen delivery. As the pH scale moves more towards alkalinity, you get more oxygen dissolved within the solution. You drop that pH, you start losing oxygen. Okay? That's very important because how many of you guys know what thrives in an oxygen deprived?
Cancer cells.
No, that's not cancer cells. That's actually not correct. Pathogenic organisms. Okay, you get a lot of chronic infections, which can lead to all sorts of other things, right? But what you want to do is you want to gain oxygen. How many of you guys like to suffocate? Raise your hand. Nobody, right? Nobody likes to suffocate. You need oxygen. But guess what? Even though you're breathing air, doesn't necessarily mean you're delivering that oxygen to the cells, because you could be at an acidic state. So that's why this is very, very important for you guys to understand, because I don't think a lot of people grasp that concept. They're like, oh cool, I'll pour a little thing, I'll take a little pill, done. But if you guys get the appreciation for, like, I'm helping oxygen to be delivered to my cells, you live in a happier body, guys, okay?
I'll piggyback on that, Dr. Mike. First of all, I just want to say, like, they were talking about the nervous system and the brain, you know, Rod was up on the main stage, and right here, like these guys, their brains are amazing and super smart, and, you know, just to be able to have them up here is just amazing, because they know more about the nervous system than anybody. And, you know, all being doctors of chiropractic, we call it doctors of cause. You know, we want to know the physiology and the function. And when you put in great things into the body, like the Yoli products, as well as what you're eating, you know, great things are going to happen, and the body can heal. Your bodies are designed to be healthy every single day. They're not designed to be junk. They're designed to be totally healthy. And when you do the right things and put the good things in, amazing things can happen, and the body can heal. You know, it can be very, very powerful. But you got to do your part. You got to do your part and get that body healthy. But back to, I forgot what I was going to say now. No, I was going to talk about inflammation. So when the body gets very acidic and, you know, the pH level drops, inflammation happens. And when inflammation happens, you know, one thing it does is affect your brain. You can't think right. But also, the immune system drops too. And so when the immune system drops, your body starts producing these inflammatory cells, which go to your brain, to your joints, to your, you know, your tissues, and your body just it can't work right. It's trying to survive, and you get in survival mode instead of, you know, being able to do what you want in energy mode. I would rather have you guys in energy mode than survival mode, because survival mode is a tough place to be. And just bringing it back to the pH2O water is every time you drink that and put those minerals are life. Farmers, if there's farmers in here, farmers put minerals in the soil to grow your crops. Same thing with your body. Their minerals are growth and life. And so that's what's great about this product, is it's just going to make you healthier every single day, reduce inflammation so your body can function and heal the way it should.
Boom. I really think, just to keep it simple, so obviously pH2O is hydration, and not just simply drinking water, delivering water, right? It's oxygenation, not just simply breathing, it's delivering, right? And micronutrients that aren't just ingesting, but delivering. That all on top of the standard foundation of what pH is, and we could give a master class a semester in college on pH itself, which is so important to our bodies. So it really is special. It's really a really nice tool to have in a already outstanding tool shed, so to speak, in our Yoli system. and it's so congruent and in such alignment, like we've been talking about with what we're trying to do. And it basically comes down to you all should be doing it. I mean, it really is. It's easy, it's simple, it's inexpensive compared to other things we would do, and it's very impactful from a health perspective. So it's important. So what do you guys think? You want to say one more?
I just want to move on to glow because I am a female. All the ladies, are you guys excited? Yes. Hair, nails, skin. But the reality is you're going to hear from some brilliance up here that glow is so much more, you guys. Glow is truly a remarkable thing with the age that we live in, that we need that extra support for just health in general. But let's face it, it's a collagen type of a product, and it's going to help with the nails and the skin and the hair, but it's also going to heal you from the inside out, if that's what it's designed to do. With all the vitamins in there and the biotin, it helps with all different things that, you know, to support your body. But it also has the ashwagandha. So again, this is great for stress support and other biological functions. It also has aloe vera leaf in there, so that's great. Some of the other, I can't even remember. Ginseng is in there. Okay, so I'm going to pass it on to these guys. But ladies, I'm telling you, I want to hear some results from you guys with hair and nails, but there's a lot of research out there on the products that are in our formula. Again, Yoli as a company is doing a fabulous job to giving us what we want and need, but it's so much bigger. It's so much more than just our hair, skin, and nails, and I'll let these guys explain more.
So I have to defend our men.
I know.
Yes.
Hey Jack,
Show
here
them.
for a minute.
Yes. We're going to before and after.
Just stand right here for me. You guys ever seen a chia pet? Chia! Okay, now you can sit up. We're gonna watch what happens, right? It's like in real time.
So a little bit of background. We get the announcements for the products before it comes out. So when the products are released, it's kind of like oh, great, you know. We don't get the joy that everybody else gets. You know, when they tell it to us, they just tell us, oh, here's what it's going to be, here's what's going to be, okay, now you guys are going to talk about it. But when I first heard about Glow, a couple things went through my mind, right? Like, okay, what are we doing? You know, it's like, who cares about your hair and skin? We're guys, you know? We're like,
we
who
do.
cares?
We're
Right.
ladies.
And then, you know, I thought, okay, women. But then I started looking at the formulation. That's what I do. And the first thing that occurred to me was the things that we don't think about or we don't see, which is our internal organs. So our internal organs is all encapsulated in like collagen and all these proteins and all that kind of stuff. And that's one thing that happens as you age. Things start to sag. You guys ever notice that? No. Things start to sag, right? Not just the external things, but also your internal organs. Sometimes, you know, I tell patients that they gotta go hang upside down because their organs are actually, you know, going the wrong way. That actually impacts certain functions. You know, you see a lot of people that say, oh, you know, I've tried this, I've tried that, but nothing works. And it's because the organs are sometimes getting choked off, right? It loses its elasticity within it. And it needs what? What does the organs need? It needs collagen production. Now with that, there's another part that you gotta look at. What is collagen? Collagen is actually a communication network for your body. Electrons actually pass through collagen. That's how the organs and the cells, they start to communicate with each other. You know that your skin is connected directly into every single cell of your body, into the nucleus, into the mitochondria? There's direct connections with that. And as you age, you get dehydrated and you also lose elasticity. So this is very important from an overall health perspective. And at the same time, you guys get to look beautiful, like Daniel's song, right? You get to look young like Daniel's song for the rest of your life. So it's an important thing. And there's some other questions. You guys want to go over some of the other questions?
Shouldn't replace. So a couple of questions that I got, and then we can
say
also.
something real quick
Yeah,
before
go
we
ahead.
get? I gotta defend the men too because ginseng helps with men. So
Men,
yeah, we need ginseng. So
But-
men can take it too. It's gonna help.
What does it help with?
It's gonna help with function. That's just it.
What does it help with?
Glow will
What
be
does it help
It's
with?
like if you take passion and glow at the same time. Oh my gosh.
Take glow if you want better function. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yoli babies.
Don't take it with passion though.
It's got collagen. It helps with the elasticity. Remember? Okay, time to move on. Hold on. Okay, so a couple of questions we have from Glow. With the new Glow, would you continue to take vitamins as well? And since it has a lot of the vitamins, is it okay to take Glow and vitamins?
Yes, it is. A lot of the vitamins are water soluble, so you will be getting a lot of the B vitamins in you, but you'll get rid of what your body doesn't need. But those water soluble vitamins, you need to take those every single day. You consume them all the time. So yes, it's very good. And obviously Glow is with the collagen and the ashwagandha. There's a lot of other ingredients in there that's not in the multivitamin. So yes, you should take that.
And another question, maybe one of the other doctors can answer, is when should you take Glow? And it's recommended to take 2 capsules. Should you do it one in the morning, one at night? And then, can you overdose on it?
So the easy answer is, first of all, the overdose thing. I mean, if you're using common sense and following directions on the bottle, no. There's really not any risk factors. Now, if you buy 100 bottles and put it all into your body in an hour, it's probably not a good idea, right? So overdose is hard to say, mostly with nutrition issues. Anything that's food-based nutrition, you can take many times over recommended dose and still be within a safety range, so just know that. What was the other question on that one?
Can you overdose and then better time to take it?
Oh, best time to take it. So here's the thing on timing, right? So there are times when timing matters to a degree with nutrition, especially supplements, but not to the point of being perfect and missing out on not taking it. My point is, it's better to just get it in you whenever you take it versus trying to be so strict on timing that you drive yourself crazy. And especially with Glow, the ingredients in Glow are less time sensitive than many things would be. So it's great to split it up, some in the morning, some at night. Would be great. Take them 2 at the same time. Just get them in you is the main thing, okay? One thing I wanted to say just briefly, because I think Yoli does a really good job of putting the right things and having such great formulations that sometimes I don't even think they understand how powerful their supplements are. When you look at Glow, it's obviously meant to be a beauty supplement, skin, hair, nails, right? But what it really is a powerful health supplement. And like Dr. Mike explained so well, the collagen matrix of our body is everything. Every organ, every tissue has a protein matrix of collagen. The reason we notice it externally with skin and hair when we start having an attack on that system is there's a couple things that happen in our body. If we make it really simple, it's a thing called oxidative stress. If we go a little deeper, there's a thing called granzyme B, which you don't need to know what that is, but it's basically a result of insult to our body. It can be sunlight on our skin, it can be toxins in our air, it can be French fries from McDonald's, but they stimulate a thing called granzyme B, which is basically an enzyme that breaks down collagen protein. It attacks in an inflammatory way the collagen protein. It shows up on outwardly in our skin with crappy looking skin, dull, gray, dry, wrinkles, hair falling out, brittle nails, pitted nails. But if it's doing that to our outward tissue, that same collagen matrix is also in the tissue that makes up our heart, our lungs, our vessels, our organs. So if it's outwardly expressing skin, hair, and nail issue, it's inwardly expressing this. So the thing about the collagen protein, it's a building block. It helps replenish what's getting torn down. But what Glow also does is it shuts down the fire. It helps your body shut down the fire that's breaking it down in the first place. So if your house is on fire, how smart is it to start nailing boards to it to put it back together while it's still on fire? You think that works? Or do you put out the fire while you're doing that? That's what glow is all about. It's about addressing it from both sides. Similar to how Flex does it from a joint component. Right? It also has things in it that are good for your supporting your hormone system, good for supporting your gut function, good for supporting tissue function on other levels. So glow is just one of those things again. Everybody, every day. It's meant for that. It's meant to go in the system. And I think it's important to understand that when Yoli does stuff, it's not just a superficial, oh, it's going to make you look good, even though it will. I mean, that's the whole point. There's deep science behind it. Okay?
Amazing. Give Glow a hand, you guys.
Real quick, two other questions that we've gotten on Glow. One is, what is the expectation as far as duration it takes to really make an impact? And there was a study I read, 2015 study, published in Dermatology that talked about collagen, and what they found was decreased wrinkle size and increased hydration of the skin, but it took about 4 to 12 weeks. So we don't want to look at the supplement maybe as tomorrow you're going to be bursting with, hydration and you got a facelift, right? So
It also won't help with the function by tonight, fellas.
And just really quick, some of you ladies or whoever wants to, and I don't mean to interrupt, but just take a picture of your face and take Glow, and then watch the study or watch, what happens over the next 2 or 3 months, and it might be a good marketing piece.
Right. Just stick your arm out and see if you wave, and then see if your wave gets less underneath your arm.
There you go.
The other question that's come up is, because it is a collagen-based supplement, is it substantial enough to replace your collagen supplement that you're currently taking, right? So if you're taking a powdered collagen. So it depends, in my opinion, it depends on what your goals are. So if you're looking this as a supplement to help with hair, skin, and nails, and you've not been taking collagen, then I would say, yeah, this is awesome. But if you're taking collagen as an athletic component or as a real tissue rebuilding component where you're taking 5-10 grams, I would say no, it's not enough.
I love, just so you know, it is so amazing being up on stage with these people because there's a lot of total passion, commitment, and just ridiculous amounts of intelligence up here on what we're doing. And so we get to bounce around. I think too, the thing to always remember, and I think what Yoli does such a great job of, and I remember when I started Yoli, it's what attracted me to this company when I got to watch these two here talk about this is, health starts with health, right? There's no magic pill, there's no magic thing. Skin, hair, and nail health starts with actual health. Does that make sense? Being able to control your physiology, to control your psychology starts with health. So when we're talking about new products, they're always meant to be in addition to our foundation of what we already do in this company. So if you really want to look the best you can, you still look at what we do, which is a transformation kit, right? Alkalite, probiotics pure. The things that get us here are the most important. The new things are optimizers, they're chargers, they're addition to. And so if your goal is to look the best and have the best hair and nails, you should do a transformation kit with Glow, right? Actually, you should do all the Yoli products at the same time.
And the pH too.
Yeah, I mean seriously, that pH and skin health, we could talk all day on that, right? Gut-skin connection. So it just is important to understand when we release new products and you have somebody who comes to you and says, I want to look my best, starting with a T-kit working up is almost always better than starting with Glow working backwards.
Yes.
Okay? So here's a question that we just got, and this is from Daniel, so I won't go through everything. Actually, the first one kind of relates back to what Dr. Miller already covered, so good. And it was about Eugene, so I wish Eugene well. Sorry, Gene, wherever you're at, brother.
He's up there.
So, oh no, that's the first one. And you already talked about, is Glow sufficient for replacing collagen supplement? Good job. And so this is good. So like a Marvel post-credit before we kind of move into the next, does anybody else want to say anything more about Glow? So, you know Yoli's smart, right? You know who's really smart is the new Yoli. The truesome Yoli connection. So when I talk about supplements and vision, we always start with impact, right? It has to be about that. Are we gonna make impact in people's lives? That has to be the primary criteria. Is this gonna help real world people have real results? Are we gonna be able to help the masses? Are we gonna be able to dent the universe? That's impact. Not perfect, impact. Secondly, is there integrity, right? So what is the product integrity? What's the integrity of the company? What's the integrity of the system? I'm here to tell you we've always had high integrity, and with this moving forward, the integrity level has been exponentially upgraded even more. So we're gonna have high quality, and finally innovation. And that's what I wanted to get to. Innovative products, innovative product lines. And so the question is, like a Marvel post-credit, like you watch the credits of any Marvel movie, and like 3 minutes into the credits, you get to see what's going to happen next, right? So if Glow is an inner beauty, outer beauty product, I think that's something that we can be excited about for the future with Yoli, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It's going to be the things that we're going to do, the things this company's going to do as far as opening niche markets, going down other paths, broadening the horizon for what can be done, and people you can go talk to. We can't tell you what it is because that would be ruining the surprise. But you guys, we're just getting on this train, and once it gets going, it's going to be amazing. So you should all be very, very, very excited for what's coming next in this company.
And I will tell you guys, you have all of us on the new doctor advisory panel that we are working on your behalf, and we are letting them know what the requests are out in the field and the extreme, beautiful improvement in keeping our quality of ingredients high. So just know that we already have connections with them on some of the things that we're working for next year, and you're going to be excited.
One question that I have, if we can switch gears and go towards athletes, when exercising, how much yes should you have? How much of the yes protein shake? If you are working out and exercising at a higher level, muscles, when you work out, you destroy them. They break down, and then the body rebuilds them. That's how you gain strength. That's how you train. That's how you get in better shape. Is you have to break down your muscle tissue, and then the body's going to build them back up. And it builds them back up with amino acids, which are broken down from protein. And yes, protein is a whey protein. It has a great amino acid profile for that. I've done a lot of research on athletes and what is the best protein to build them back up, and we have that. The whey is a great component to do that. So yes, on the bottle, one question that I get a ton is, it doesn't have 30 grams of protein per serving. One thing, the body doesn't digest all the protein all at once anyway. So a lot of times it just goes through. Like if you have some people like to have 24-ounce steak. Well, you're not going to digest all the protein out of that steak anyway. Same concept happens with protein, powdered protein. If you're taking a supplement that has 30, 40 grams in one shot, you're probably not going to digest it all unless you got a superhuman gut. And that just doesn't happen. So 12 grams at a time is a great amount to take. But if you are exercising at a high level, taking two scoops after a workout, or even three, an hour after, and then 3 hours later, and then 4 or 5 hours later, that is going to help build the muscle back up and rebuild the tissue that you just broke down while you're working out. So increase it if you are working out. If you're not, if you're just getting started and just basic and not an athlete, not working out, stick to the plan. Stick to the 2 scoops a day.
I'm still thinking about the elasticity thing, guys. And I'm like, we have a goal to be a $500 million company. That should be easy, right? All the things you guys have just heard. Man. I got a question here. It says, what is the most important thing to communicate to people about the products? That's actually a fairly common question that a lot of you guys ask. And my best answer to that is it enhances what, what we're all saying here. It enhances a lifestyle, right? You can't expect it to be the miracle thing. Because that's what I think a lot of people come into it. They say, well, I tried it, and I ate a Big Mac every single day, and I didn't lose any weight. So what does it matter, right? You gotta change, and then you use this as an addition to it, right? It's like, I coach baseball, and I tell all my baseball players, because they all want to get all the fancy gear, right? They want the A2000 Wilson glove, they want to get the DeMarini bat, and they get up to the plate, and they strike out every single time. And they look at me and they go, but I bought everything, coach. Why am I not doing it? And I says, because you are not doing the fundamentals, right? So the most important thing we got to communicate about the products is that the products aren't going to solve anything until you solve something, right? That's what we need to communicate. We need to communicate a healthier lifestyle first, and that's the beauty of the T-Kit. The beauty of the T-Kit is it makes that transition easier. Because a lot of people want to do that, right? They're like, it's January 1st, I'm going to hit 24-hour fitness. I'm going to go to soup plantation every single day. And by January 3rd, it's out of the window. Right? You got the desire matching up with the unconscious mind. And they're all screwed up, by the way. They're all screwed up in everybody. And they're trying to get a result that just doesn't allow them what they want. So they look at Yoli as the answer to their problem. But it's really not, guys. I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm also trying to bring in reality that because I hear this from a lot of people. They say, well, I was set to have a knee replacement and I took flex and I still got the knee replacement. Like, yeah. It's not a miracle, right? It's not a miracle thing. We still adhere to the laws of the universe, okay? Sometimes we push up to the edge, right? With PH2O, we're pushing up to the edge of the laws of the universe. But there's still fundamental things, and that's what I want you guys to communicate to other people. Don't make overzealous promises, by the way, that you're gonna lose 85 pounds in the next 2 hours. We gotta stop those kind of things. Or another thing that I see with people is they start saying, well, if you take alkali, it's gonna cure all your cancer. We gotta stop that kind of stuff, guys. One, because it's not true, and two, because it's going to get us into trouble. Okay? The whole goal with Yoli is we want Yoli to be around, right? How many of you guys want us to be around? Yeah. Right? And in the network marketing industry, to make it to 10 years is pretty amazing. To not have any red flags about complaints is even more amazing, guys. Okay? So we need to keep it that way. We need to make sure that we know what we're talking about, because I know a lot of people, we're passionate, right? Everybody's passionate about it. We want to transform lives, and sometimes we push the boundaries, right? So-and-so, they lost 85 pounds, and we start talking about these things. We got to make sure that we're communicating the right message, guys.
Build the foundation, right? We got to be careful about, just piggybacking off Mike there, we have to be careful about falling into the same trouble that our healthcare, if you want to call it that, system has really gone down, which is chasing symptoms. And we don't want to do that. We get a lot of questions, you guys, and I guarantee you they're on this app, about individual disease processes, and I have a customer who has this, what is the best supplement for them to take? And my answer is nearly always consistent, the T-Kit. Start with the T-Kit. You have to build a foundation. You cannot build a mansion on the sand without starting with the foundation. And so always start with that foundation, get their base set, and then start building stronger products on top of that.
And with that being said, you guys, some of my most common questions that I get is, how do I break through a plateau? Does anybody want to know? Yeah.
Yes.
How do I, so the plateau is one of the questions. So, Aaron, why don't you answer that one? How to break through a plateau?
Well, I think that's important, and many of us get stuck for many different reasons. So that I think starting with the transformation kit and looking at the other products as optimizers or as additors or superchargers or whatever you want to say. So the T-kit is really where you're at. If, this is how I explain it to people, if you want results that you can visibly see or consciously feel, the T-kit is where you have to start. We feel pretty confident that the T-kit's going to deliver results that you can visibly see and consciously feel a lot of the time. Then, if you either are struggling to get results that you visibly see or consciously feel, or if you hit a plateau, like Angie said, that's the time to consider optimizers. And by optimizers, I just mean the other Yoli products that aren't in the T-kit. And really, any of those would be a good place to start, any or all. So obviously, as a Blue Diamond, I'm blessed that I get to take and afford all of the Yoli products all the time, and now with 10 new ones, I'll have to add that into my stable of stuff I take every day. If they keep coming out with new products, I don't know, might have to just skip. But my point is, plateaus are about issues. A lot of times it can be adrenal stress issues, sometimes it can be gut issues, so you just think about that, and adding in something like the enzymes is a really, really good starting place. Adding in the greens is a really, really good starting place from a plateau standpoint because they're going to help address multiple systems. I would say Flex and Glow are really, really good starting points if you're in a plateau, right? So the other thing is just to remember, and I want to go back to communicating, and I think what Mike said is so right. Supplements are meant to do as their name implies, supplement things that we're not getting from our food in today's world, right? You can't take a bunch of supplements and drink Jack Daniels and Budweisers and Big Macs all day and get good. And that's what makes Yoli unique, guys, is we actually address the lifestyle component. We have this thing called an eating plan that helps teach people how to eat and when to eat in an appropriate, simple, and easy way. If you don't do that, supplements are worthless, and that's where a lot of other companies don't get it. High quality supplements are worth about jack if you don't change your lifestyle. And here's another amazing thing. We have this better body system, now we have this better mind system. You get PCs while they're making changes in their life to change who they're going to become. Those two things are synergistic together. The healthier you get, the more powerful your mind is, the more you have control of your state to change it in the first place. The more you learn to change your state and become a person who makes healthy choices, the more healthy choices you're going to make. It's a synergistic tsunami. Those two things together are unstoppable. They've never been done before anywhere in the nutrition industry, not much less network marketing. The power we have in our hands to go out and make huge, huge meaningful change, that people that are suffering, that need it, people that want to achieve more, even high achievers, even the meatheads that ask the stupid protein questions. All of those people, every human needs it. If you put them on both together, so another thing, if you're in a plateau, do the better mind system. See what that does for you. You know, so I'm sorry I got so fired up. I always say I'm passionate. I'm passionate and pissed off at the same time. Hey, do a quick thing, I'm sorry, but this stuff matters.
This is nothing. Just wait.
This stuff matters.
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking about, like, we like to have fun and stuff, and this group of people up here, we know more than anybody. I'm so blessed to be, but this matters. It matters so much. We just got to go out with that intent and really help people. So I'm sorry, but I kind of went off on a tangent.
Get after it. I like it. Let's go. Let's go, Yoli Nation. Let's do it.
Really quick before, and I don't mean to interrupt, and we can go back to Kev, but while we're on the plateau topic, just some basic, simple things. Encourage your people to look at the protein bars that they're eating. A lot of it's crap, or the type of yogurt, or maybe, you know, the quality of meat that they're consuming, like the lunch meats. So, or the chicken, you know, because a lot of that chicken has organic or hormones added and antibiotics added. So really dive deep into the quality of the food that you're looking at, and many, many times that will help bust through a plateau. And then one other thing that I personally do is I add the greens. The greens are also good. So sorry.
Yeah, just going back to eating. I mean, you have to eat. There's so many plans. I mean, you can Google. There's so many different plans, like how to eat. But eating is just keep it very simple. Don't make it more difficult than what it is. We have to eat, and the supplements are to supplement to give the body to fill in those blanks where the body can function at a high level. When when you're following the meal plan, just add vegetables in. And if you start somebody doing that right away, a rule of thumb is add something good in first before you take it away from them. Because if you take away their Coke every single day, if you say you have to stop that right now, they're gonna go about 2 weeks at tops, and they're gonna get sick of it, and they're gonna go right back.
Unless they use passion as a substitute.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, so if you get them to change that. But just get them eating greens, vegetables. That is gonna change a lot of stuff. And give them more fiber, it's gonna make their gut a lot better. And sometimes it's not clear on the booklet to eat greens. Like greens, no matter what day it is. I don't care what day it is. If it's a vegetable, except the high starch vegetables, eat. If it's green or a pepper, or if it's multicolored, eat it. Tell everybody to add in those vegetables. That's probably the biggest supplement that we're missing out on the meal plan.
So we're about that time to wrap it up, guys. How many of you guys enjoyed the doctor panel session? So this has actually been a long time coming. We've actually talked about this for years now of doing this. And for me, it's been a treat. Love spending time with the rest of the bunch. And the whole goal of what we're trying to do with the Doctors Advisory Board is to, one, be the voice for everybody, to make sure that we maintain that quality of products. And two, is to bring the education back to you guys. Because if you guys can conceive it, then you guys can get that message out, and then we can transform the entire world, right? So the Doctors Advisory Board is kind of like the Avengers, right? And we have this thing called Dis-Ease, which is Thanos, right? He holds all the gems. But we have our own gems, right? That's the beauty of what we have in Yoli. And the only way that it's going to work, because we can't just do it by ourselves, because you guys are also part of the Avengers as well. And you guys are empowered with the exact same things that we have. But what did Rod say? What did he say? We gotta do what? You guys are dressed for the dance. You guys know how to dance. What do you guys gotta do? You guys gotta dance, right? We can't impact lives if we don't talk to people. We gotta do that. Because, for many of you guys who know my story, my grandmother, she passed away at age 61. And I think about the person who knew something that didn't tell me and my family. My grandmother would be 82 years old, actually coming up in a couple days. She would have been 82 years old, she would have been here. If that one person who held the knowledge passed it on, right? So what I think about every day, what drives my passion is, I don't want to be that guy, right? I don't want to be the guy that stops the knowledge from passing on. That's what we want to leave you guys with, is you guys have, right? Whether it's in Spider-Man, right? With great power comes what? Great responsibility. If you guys are in this room, you guys are now responsible. And what does responsible mean? The ability to what? Respond. And what do you respond to? A person's need. And I can tell you guys right now, that $500 million mark, that's nothing. That's nothing. Because the pharmaceutical industry is $1 trillion industry. And they're not doing a damn thing about health. I'm sorry. They're not. You guys are. Okay? So for me, it's great to see all of you guys. I didn't get to see you guys last year because we were actually moving back to Hawaii. But, for me, it's awesome to see that everyone is still here. Not here physically, but here mentally. That's the biggest thing, is that I still see the passion in people's questions, because they ask passionate questions, even about passion and other types of passion. You know? We love seeing that. Never lose that, guys. Never lose that passion for helping other people. Right? Love all you guys. Aloha.